find anyone in the early game.
So now I have a question for you. You mentioned this earlier, with the Psychologist being such an extremely strong character that can take an additional hit, it almost makes the Seer not that important anymore. Do you think if the Psychologist is in the map, there's no need for the Seer anymore?
I think they're both very strong, just because the Seer can give an extra hit to the first kiter. If Psychologist isn't kiting first, the extra hit is not as relevant. And the Seer can force the first kiter to take an extra hit. Loading into the match, though, it looks like we did have the church spawn from the Evil Reptilian, which means the key spawn is behind Shack, and the Lizard went to check it out but did not find a survivor, and is now going to head towards Graveyard. This looks like the location of V4XL, the Seer, so this is a pretty good find for this Evil Reptilian, and he has caught him in a very weak kiting area. This is Wedding. This is known to be one of the weakest kiting areas on Red Church, so this might be a pretty good start for this Reptilian.
Extremely good patience to finding the forward first and then concentrating on putting his attention towards different survivors, because you just don't want to go for the forward in such a team early kite, and we can see that he's closing the gap. Will he be able to hit? No, Seer actually doing a fantastic job, is avoiding these hits, buying more time, put down the 2 pellets right here and is trying to loop around towards other pellets. Oh, very nice utilization. This will definitely buy him more time. Lone Wolf not hitting him, not getting the hit on that survivor right here, and we can see Lone Wolf is trying to put his attention to someone else, not dealing with the CSR right here, hitting the Mercenary, first hit on the survivor, but we can also see Forward is decoding the Cypher machines. Lone Wolf has to pick up the pace right here to bring that first survivor on the chair.
We actually see the insolence kick in from the Evil Reptilian here, which is not something you see every day, but this is going to allow for him to have that lethal crash ability, which you're able to damage a survivor without having presence, once you have that insolence online. He is committing to a Mercenary here. This is very risky. Mercenary is one of the best kiting characters in the game because you have those 3 elbow pads to utilize. On top of that, 10% increased chair persistence makes it very hard for the Hunter to get that Mercenary out of the game and back to the manor. Goes for that crash, unable to get it. Mercenary able to avoid that hit as well. Beautiful job from Psyche to avoid any extra hits here from this Lizard, and ICT in an incredible position so far.
Psyche really utilizing his elbow pads to his advantage and getting away from the Evil Reptilian, breaking line of sight and also getting away from the hits as we just saw. And right here we can see Lone Wolf is trying to it again, but this is buying a lot of time, as you said it. Mercenary is an extremely dangerous target early game, because if he can buy a lot of time, Cypher machines will go down, and this is exactly what we are seeing. 3 Cypher machines remaining. We have the Postman in the church who is decoding, and as I can see, I think Forward is slowly coming into the area too, in case Psyche is having a little bit of a problem right here, and the decoding is making a lot of progress.
Absolutely. It looks like Psyche's going to try to stay alive here. 1 more elbow pad still available, so he's got some time to kite with. He may actually just hold on this elbow pad for the end game. Oh, beautiful lethal crash there from Lone Wolf. And the hit, getting the down on Psyche. We do have the forward in the vicinity. You have to be careful here if you are this Hunter. Goes for the stun too early, unfortunately there, and Psyche is still on the ground.
Was too early, but still there's still the chance to go in again, and is able to rescue Psyche right away. Lone Wolf was trying to pick him up and get out of range, is hitting the Mercenary again. He is picking up the pace right here. He knows that he needs to chair the survivors. We can see the Cypher machine in the middle of the map in the church has been primed. We have the Mercenary down, and this is still action from the forward right here. Psyche is in the area. Psyche is trying to do the same again. Lone Wolf this time a little bit more patient. No, is picking him up and is getting the stun again. Psyche off the balloons yet again, is taking that hit. Ooh.
Yeah, something I wanted to point out is Psyche is actually holding onto this elbow pad on purpose. If you have that elbow pad available in the late game, he's going to take the hit, and I think the Cypher machines are, no, not quite primed just yet. The forward still in the area here. But as I was saying, he's holding that elbow pad for the end game, so he can go for a
very nice. Blink right there, was able to get away, but the thing is, he utilized Blink right now. We have the Cypher machine primed. That means as soon as the Cypher pops, he won't be able to actually switch to teleport or anything. Like, he used Blink, he has to rely on his skill, and he has to get one survivor there. And this is exactly what Lone Wolf has to do right now. He needs to concentrate on at least one survivor. He wants to get one survivor on the chair, because else we see ICT taking 5 points out of this game if they're able to get out with 4 survivors. And so far they're doing a fantastic job. As we see in the bottom left, 3 survivors at the exit gate. We now have the mercenary, who still has an elbow pad, gets the chance to get to the dungeon, and that is it.
There it is.
That is it. Very, very meta picks. I see the first officer is maybe a little bit off meta. Still very curious to see him being utilized. And as you mentioned, I'm curious to see how John Zhao will perform against this team. They need to get at least one survivor out of there. So there's definitely a different mindset, and there's definitely more pressure on EXP's side right now. But we will find out. We can see John Zhao already on to the prisoner, which is actually the best find for him. The main decoder of the team immediately finds him, is trying to bring him down, and is going for Rashime right now.
Yeah, John Zhao acknowledging, does miss that hit there. John Zhao does acknowledge that a survivor does spawn near this this back gate area. Wow, beautiful play for the prisoner. Gets the shock on the sculptor inside the pallet and gets the follow-up pallet stun. He did unfortunately absorb an extra statue in the process. But it looks like John Zhao utilizing the peepers. So, whoa, beautiful statue to get the down.
Really, really utilizing these pellets, these small areas where the statues will immediately bounce off and immediately hit the survivors. And we can see Prisoner took a total of 4 statues already. Extremely good for John Zhao. We have the first survivor on the chair right now. He sees where the first officer is. He's putting pressure on the survivors to, again, they need to get all survivors out of the exit gate if they want to tie round number 1, and therefore they're going in for the rescue right here. Sia taking that first hit. The owl is getting cancelled by the statue. Fantastic job. One more statue hit and he can immediately hit them and go down. This might be an extremely good start for John Zhao. No, the rescue is coming through. Fantastic job from the Seer.
John Zhao is able to get the double hit on that Seer there and has full presence available. You saw picture-perfect statues there from John Zhao, hitting almost every single one. Beautiful full presence connection on that statue. And he's gonna be able to get the down on that prisoner once that Tide Turner runs out. This is a beautiful position for John Zhao, and I believe the prisoner might have been rescued after half, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't think so. Sia was going in extremely fast. I think Prisoner... No, you were right. Was rescued after half. So that is the first survivor that he wanted to secure to get the win in this first round. But again, you want to get more points. You want to get more survivors out of there. And this is just how scary Sculptor with these perfect statues can be. We now have the first officer who's trying to kite around. Is getting away from the... Oh! Took that and is going down. Wow.
Beautiful statue. Yeah, that's incredible. Hitting that first officer out of that pocket watch is not easy to do. You have that huge delay between the first officer's actual image and what you see, or what the first officer is actually at. So a beautiful job from John using those full presence statues to target him down, getting that hit, and is able to chip the entomologist in the process. These have been absolutely on-point statues from this sculptor, and this is exactly what this Inception team needs to see here from John Zhao. Already in a strong position, possibly going for a 4-person elimination. He's going to completely give up on camping here and go for this entomologist.
For the entomologist is opening up the chance for Sia to actually go in for the rescue. You have to give it to the survivor team too. They were very well coordinated. They rescued immediately as soon as they got the chance, and they also killed the Sia right here. Entomologist is not really getting the chance to buy more time for the team though. They need to still bring down 3 more Cypher machines, and this looks extremely good for John Zhao. We're gonna see him destroy the bees, so they are not a problem later in the game. The bees are almost gone. Now we can see that S99, the first officer, is trying to get in, trying to come in for the rescue again, utilizing that pocket watch and trying to, trying to get away from the statues, but it's just almost impossible. It seems impossible to avoid these statues from John.
You really see the power of that full presence sculptor. Once you have those target statues, you can connect the vertical and horizontal statue to follow to the closest survivor, and that's really what John's been abusing here. And there's the down with the chisel on the first officer. All he has to do is down this seer, and he will have that 4-person elimination he's greatly seeking out here. So beautiful statues again from John Zhao, dropping another peeper just for extra vision, better control of this map. He's not going to allow the seer to try to get a free rescue here. And there's the first hit. Can he get the stuff on the seer? If he's able to do so, that should just secure the win.
Wow, that is definitely going to be intense. Okay, Seer is able to rescue the entomologist, but still they are in a very, very tough situation right here. Seer might actually go down if he's taking another statue. Concentrating on the entomologist. Is hitting that entomologist. Entomologist will be out of the game as soon as she hits the chair, and then it will be a back and forth. We have seen this over and over again. When you really want to get the 4 survivor elimination, you will just leave the seer on the ground, concentrating on the first officer, because I think he had to help himself up. Therefore, if the first officer goes down, he will go back to the seer and really not sharing, because if you share the survivors, they have a better chance to get to the dungeon. So this will just, again, a back and forth between these 2 survivors.
We're going to see John Zhao again. Look, oh, Seer actually gets up in front of him. So all John has to do now is down the Seer. There is the down on the Seer. No more self-heal available because he used it right there. So interesting choice from the Seer to try to escape there. Unfortunately, did not work in their favor. Now John is going to use this chisel. Trying to use these statues, it will point to the closest survivor if they are within a certain range of where that chisel is. Unfortunately for John, the first officer was not in that range. So he's going to be able to stay out of his vision for now, but it's only a matter of time before he's able to locate this character and get that down.
That is for sure. It is only a matter of time. We have the Seer slowly bleeding out. Again, this is just buying so much time for John right here to find the first officer, and there he is. The statue is going straight up into the direction of the first officer. First officer can try to escape right here, but eventually it's a very, very difficult situation, and there goes the first officer on the chair, and as soon as he is chaired, we will see the Seer getting on the chair. This is a 4 survival elimination. This is extremely strong for ICT right here, because this means in round number 1, they were not only able to take the win and the point home, no, they were actually able to take all the points. 10 points for ICT, and we have 0 points for EXP. EXP really needs to pick up the pace right now. They need to win round number 2 to push it into a round number 3. So that's gonna be very, very intense, and fantastic job on ICT's side so far.
Be more comfortable with the barmaid character, so they're gonna take that risk, go with that barmaid there. But yeah, Gamekeeper from Blue Race Car. This is going to be a very exciting match. As you mentioned, Grizzly, we always love to see those off-meta hunters get utilized.
That is for sure. And here we have the Gamekeeper coming in, already going into the direction of, which is the Seer right there. And that's actually not the worst find for Blue Race Car right now, and really pushing that Seer, sees the Seer and is continuing to chase down that Seer. You want to bring down a survivor early in the match, and again, Seer not necessarily the worst pick. We can see he is utilizing his skill. He is putting down these peepers and now trying to hook. Oh, didn't take the pallet, but was actually hitting the Seer right here. Fantastic job from Blue Race Car. Great patience and knowing that, you know, you don't want to go for that. And oh, actually placing a trap right here, leaving the pallet right there in case someone is vaulting over that, and also putting a trap right behind it. And now it's just really hooking through the carousel, getting the hit on the Seer. First survivor is down. We still have 5 Cypher machines up. This is already looking very good for Blue Race Car.
Beautiful game sense from Blue Race Car to acknowledge that he has the ability to hook through that carousel. A lot of people don't know exactly how, you know, what objects Gamekeeper can hook through, but Blue Race Car obviously knows his Gamekeeper very well, acknowledges I can hook through this carousel if I time it right and angle it properly, did exactly that. And a downside to that is once you hook the Seer, sometimes they're not able to get that owl off because their ability to get canceled for a slight second. Gets the hook on the first officer in the pocket watch as well. This is the second time we've seen this from the Inception Hunters, getting hits and the tear shot. Wow!
What a timing right here, bringing down the first officer who was trying to rescue the Seer, and this is putting the survivor side into an extremely tough situation because the Seer will most likely be eliminated while they already have the next survivor, the first officer, on the chair. But Blue Race Car actually going back to secure that Seer, to protect the Seer, and he can see that the prisoner is coming in. Another extremely good find right away because he's the main decoder. Hooks the prisoner, is giving him a hit, and now he's a one hit. Ooh, very, very good job from Blue Race Car. Again, putting them into an extremely good position for this first half, round number 2.
This prisoner does still have a shock available to utilize here. Goes for the hook. Hits the hook! Wow, incredible angle. He's going to wait for that shock to wear off. Picking up the prisoner here. He's going to be able to place him on the rocket chair here. Leaving the first officer on the ground is also a smart play. He's going to try to make him waste his self-heal. And there it is. We're going to see the first officer use up that self-heal. So at any point in the match, if he finds the first officer and is able to get him down, he can leave him on the ground without worried of him getting up and go look for that last survivor to try to secure a 4-person elimination. If he gets into that situation, still 4 sniper machines remaining. We're going to see him use this hook. You can actually use this as many times as you want with that full presence. It's actually infinite until you miss or hit a character. We actually see him find both survivors here.
Extremely good choice, right? As you mentioned, you can utilize the hook to move around on this very, very big map extremely fast. Like on maps like the Mineral Park, you just want to pick certain hunters that can move fast, and the Gamekeeper definitely being one of them. And now bringing down the barmaid, concentrating on the first officer. As you mentioned, as soon as the first officer is down, he doesn't have to care about him anymore. He can just leave him there. He can concentrate on the barmaid, and this is exactly what he's going to do. He's going to pick up the barmaid because she probably won't be able to get up in time. There's not enough time for her to self-heal, and this will be the second match for ICT on the Hunter side, in which they eliminate all 4 survivors, in which they actually get all points from that match. And this is putting EXP into an even tougher situation because now they definitely need to get a 4 survivor elimination as well to proceed into the round number 3. And if they are not doing it, that will mean that ICT will win. And even if EXP wins the next round, the next half with 5 points, they still need to win in round number Cowboy, definitely something I love to see. And we also have Perfumer. Perfumer just being such a pain when it comes to early game kites, because with these 3 perfumes you can just take so many hits and reverse the damage and just prolong the game. Now we are jumping right into it again. EXP right now on the move. They need to get 5 points to proceed in this tournament, else ICT is taking that spot in the next bracket. And we can see again Lone Wolf immediately teleporting to Psyche. And is he going to go for Psyche, or is he going to find another survivor? Because again, Psyche, or in general the mercenary, was the game breaker in the first round.
Absolutely. Now, Wu Chang is what we call a do-or-die character. It's a character that's not necessarily very good, especially because the early game chase can be very difficult, but it is a hunter that actually has 4K potential. It's not a tie hunter. It is it's a winning hunter. It's just so hard to actually to win with. It's weird when you think about it, but it is a character. If you have a good early game, you can get a 4-person elimination. We see them go for that hit, baiting out that perfume. Beautiful job from Lone Wolf to get V4XL to waste that perfume, but it looks like he's going to make enough distance here where he's able to get that second perfume back before the Wu Ching is able to catch up.
Fantastic job right here, and really concentrating on that Perfumer. Perfumer might not be the worst find, because as soon as all of these perfumes has been used, you have a survivor that can't really do anything besides, you know, the normal kite. And there might be the first hit. Oh, very nice instant perfume. Buying a lot of time, again, buying a lot of time early game, but as soon as all these perfumes has been exhausted, you have a really, really good chance to just get to that survivor and to secure the first survivor on the chair. But again, early in the match, that survivor can really buy time, and that can lead to a lot of Cypher machines being done.
Wow,
what a bait right here.
Incredible job from Mr. Lone Wolf there to get the Perfumer to go back. It's a free hit right out the gate there. We are going to see Insolence being utilized yet again from this Hunter. They're really just trying to push for that, that early game, fast kill potential here. We do see one Cypher Machine already down though, so pretty good for the Survivors. Again, they only need to get one Survivor out here to secure this win. And V4XL the Perfumer in a bit of a tough situation. This is not a very good kiting area currently.
Look at that, the bell is ready. This might... Oh, the better is coming in though, buying more time for that Perfumer. As we already mentioned, Perfumer exhausted all of her perfumes and is now a really, really good target for Mr. Lone Wolf. But the better is coming in, and this is definitely making it harder for the Wu Cheng right now to get to the Perfumer. Not quite making it with the distance. Oh! Better is actually blocking the way. Better was blocking the way for Lone Wolf right here, and this is an extremely great teamwork, but at the same time, the better being in this area also means that the better is not decoding. So this means 3 Cypher Machines have been has to be decoded by the Cowboy as well as the Mercenary, and now concentrating on these Cyphers, putting pressure on the Survivor team and hitting yet again.
Yeah, Mr. Lone Wolf acknowledges here, I cannot afford to keep chasing down these Survivors. I have to pressure these Cypher Machines if I want any chance at getting a personal machine. And it looks like Abnormal is the trait of choice here for this Hunter. You almost never see Abnormal being the first trait, but he knows he needs a 4-person elimination. Anything you can do to slow down the Cypher rush here, and it looks like Abnormal is going to be that option, and he's just going to continue after this Cowboy, trying to get this down as quickly as possible.
He's not seeing the rest of the Survivors heating up right there, and this might be a really, really good situation for the Survivors. Better is coming in, taking the attention, and the Better is also the one who was getting healed, so can now take a hit. Fantastic job. Lone Wolf acknowledges it and goes back to the other 2 Survivors that are still injured. You want to bring down the Survivor right now. Not hitting that Perfumer right here. What a teamwork on the Survivor side, but they are now down to 2 Cypher Machines. 3 Survivors are in the same area. They know what they have to do is they have to get 1 Survivor through the exit gate. That's all they need. So they are really concentrating on keeping each other alive right here.
Alright, so it looks like Mr. Lone Wolf continuing after this Perfumer. 2 Survivors are not decoding here. This is something to point out. The only character decoding is the Mercenary. You have multiple characters going for harassing plays here, so it's not actually quite as bad as it looks for Mr. Lone Wolf here. We're going to see the batter again. Beautiful support from Pinto, this batter here, giving a ton of time for the Survivors. He was in a situation to get that Perfumer down in the early game, but the batter was able to support there and prevent them from happening. Going back to the Perfumer here, half health. Batter again trying to come in for the support. Let's see if he's able to help out this Perfumer and extend her kite.
Oh, Better is just... Oh, what a hit! Better is just always in the area, and that is also the Survivor that was healed, so if he is getting the attention of Lone Wolf, it's not necessarily the best move because you want to bring down the Survivor. Now 1 Cypher Machine is remaining. Extremely good for the Survivors now because they can just push that last Cypher. They have 4 Survivors still up and running, and Lone Wolf is trying to get to that Perfumer. Now seems like he lost sight. He lost the track of the Perfumer and is going into a direction where now the Perfumer can get healed by the Better. Extremely difficult situation. Again, that 1 Cypher Machine, we can see it in the bottom left, is almost primed. He can still bring down 1 Survivor and put him on the chair and still put pressure on the Survivor side, but again, he needs to eliminate all 4 of them.
Yeah, now the only downside is for the Survivors here is that this Perfumer does not have any items for the end game. So once the Cypher Machine is popped, it should be a... Wow, another batter hit there from Pinto. Beautiful job. As I was saying, it's going to be a difficult kite in the end game for the Perfumer because she has no items to work with. So it should be a pretty quick down for the Wu Cheng once they pop that Cypher. But again, they only need 1 Survivor out. There's no reason for the Survivors to go for anything too risky here. And they're just going to pop the Cypher Machine, push for this end game. And what they're doing here, a beautiful job of splitting the exit gates. You have 1 Survivor going to the first stop, 1 Survivor going to the 4th stop, which makes it impossible for Mr. Lone Wolf to pressure both those gates.
That is for sure. We saw the Better immediately transitioning over there. The Cypher Machine, as you said, has been popped, and the Perfumer is now the target you want to go for. But Perfumer is really just using that. Oh, nice! Good job right there. Good teleportation, but still is not getting a grab of that Perfumer. She's really just using that window to buy more and more time. The exit gates have been opened. Now it's just a matter of time when the survivors will escape. The dungeon is not in this area. Will the perfumer be able to get out of there, or will the perfumer just be a sacrifice for the rest of the team so they can get the 3 survivor escape? Oh,
Beautiful bell there. Yeah, Batter is still here. Beautiful bell there from Mr. Lone Wolf. And, oh, Batter misses the hit, unfortunately. So this is going to allow Mr. Lone Wolf to share this perfumer. Place them on the rocket share. This most likely will just be a 3 survivor escape here. Unless they decide to push for something a little bit extra here. I don't think they will, but it looks like the Batter is still kind of hovering around this area, feeding Tinnitus. Maybe we'll try to go for this. This is the perfumer's first share. They could actually just wait out detention. The perfumer has not been placed on the rocket share yet. Detention with only about 40 seconds remaining. It looks like they're really going to push for this endgame because some of these characters still have Tide Turner.
That's for sure, because that is the perfumer on the chair for the first time right here. None of these characters have been in a position where they had to rescue, and it really seems like they are going to push. We can see all the survivors coming in right now for the rescue of the perfumer. We have the mercenary right here taking the attention. This is opening up the chance for the better to actually go in, but Lone Wolf really protecting that perfumer, really wants to get that 1 survivor elimination to get at least 1 point right here out of this round, but it's a difficult situation. Again, Mercenary could potentially tank a hit even with Detention, but at the same time, Detention just ran out. Now there's an opening for the Mercenary to go in, take that hit, go in for the rescue. We have the Batter being ready to stun yet again, being ready to protect. And Mercenary is taking that hit, now needs to transition to the exit gate, and we can see this might give the rest of the team enough time to actually go to the gate and escape with a 4. Oh, is that gate not open?
I think it is. We're going to see the teleport. Yeah, there's the teleport from Mr. Lone Wolf. Can he get the hit on the perfumer? No, he hits the Cowboy! He hits the Cowboy, and that's going to allow them to escape.